Hi, Tyler here, and welcome to Pecan Hill. Today we're telling the story of our 3-year-old Jersey Sunny. We bought her 6 months ago. We traveled 8 hours round trip to bring her home, and that went without a hitch. Her owner had only had her for 3 months, and she came from a dairy before that, so we don't know much more about her. We had never milked before, but we quickly got the hang of that, and she got settled in. She's been a fun addition to our homestead, and we've loved her rich, creamy milk. She has a great personality, was easy to milk, and we felt like we got super lucky finding her. About 3 months after we got her, she had an episode where she was down in the middle of the pasture. It seemed like she had had a seizure or some similar neurological event. The other cows were harassing her, and it was kind of a scary thing. As soon as we got her up, we took her to the vet. Everything checked out normal, and unfortunately, we really didn't get any diagnosis. The vet did, however, tell us that she was expecting a calf. So we did the math and discovered that she needed to be dried off ASAP because she was likely in the 3rd trimester. Everything was going well, and we started thinking it might have just been a one-off isolated event. Until one day the kids came running to us in a panic, telling us she had fallen again, this time in the barn. With a little assistance and some time to recover, she got up. Not having gotten any answers from the vet the first time and not hopeful that we would the second, we resorted to Facebook groups for help. The prevailing opinion was a magnesium deficiency, so we started supplementing that and continued doing research for any additional information. These online groups are both a blessing and a curse. There's a ton of information and experience, but there is a lot of misinformation and fear as well. We started to learn how common losing jerseys seems to be, and I started honestly thinking we may have made a mistake with getting her. Emily's normally the wait-and-see type, and I strongly believe in letting animals do what they know to do, meaning I don't like to intervene, but it seemed this approach would only lead to certain death with a jersey, so we started getting more involved than we would otherwise have been. Milk fever seemed to be the biggest concern. Many have shared losing their cows because of this, so we stocked up on supplies and learned how to use them, hoping we wouldn't need to. When the day came, we were all on edge. For me, it wasn't the pleasant birth story that all the rest of our calves have been. We had come to really like Sunny and wanted to do all we could for her to ensure a good outcome, but our knowledge is limited, so we could only do the best we could. Hoping to be as prepared as possible, Emily read extensively from books and online courses. I'll add some of that info in the video description. As soon as we knew she was in labor, we administered the oral CMPK gel. So this is a nutritional supplement that contains calcium, magnesium, potassium, and phosphorus. It looks like a tube of caulk that you administer orally and make them swallow. Many feel this is essential to prevent problems after birth with dairy cows like milk fever. We had been keeping a really close eye on her and knew she was getting close to going into labor, but we didn't see signs of actual labor until she was in this position with the feet already out. Not where we would have chosen her to deliver, and definitely not the time. One of those things we might do differently the next time. Like I said, we had no idea what breed Sunny was bred to, but we just assumed it was a Jersey. Seeing this huge black and white calf come out left us scratching our heads. I'm no cattle expert, but this definitely looked like a Holstein. It was kind of like being told you're having a boy only to discover it's actually a girl. It kind of takes a minute to wrap your arms around it. Once we knew her mouth was clear and she was moving, I wanted to know if we were finally going to get a heifer this year. We had had 5 straight bull calves born on our farm, and we were really hoping for a heifer, so we couldn't have been happier. We got a Holstein Jersey cross, and it was a heifer. Unlike our Dexters, Sunny didn't pop right up. She stayed on the ground a long time. I've edited the video because it's not that interesting to watch, but we started getting concerned. I decided to get her up on her brisket, and thankfully she was able to maintain that position on her own. We brought her molasses water and feed in hopes of helping her recover. But we're getting concerned at this point because baby isn't being cleaned up, and we're starting to worry about Sunny as well. We made the decision to move baby closer to Sunny. We wanted her to clean her up and bond with her, So this seemed like the right thing to do. We don't know if we're making the right decisions or not, but we drug her over to Sunny and hoped she would show some interest. It seemed as though Baby was trying to find a teat to latch onto, but the leg and belly definitely wasn't it. Sunny did eventually come around enough to clean her a little, so we took that as a good sign. Baby did, however, start trying to stand up, and those giraffe like legs came into full view. She looked huge. Remember me saying this location wasn't ideal? Yeah, Baby was determined to throw herself into the barbed wire fence, and no matter what we did to redirect her, she seemed determined to impale herself. Emily was doing her best to steer her away from danger, but that was a difficult challenge. We played this little back and forth game for a while, but eventually Sunny seemed to gain some energy and got on her feet. That was a relief. Baby is still struggling to find a teat to latch onto, and Sunny pushing her around while cleaning her up wasn't helping, so we decided to help out. I don't know if it's a breed thing, like with Jerseys, or maybe because she's already half her mom's height, but she just could not figure out where to find what she was looking for. Newborn calves are slippery little buggers, so it took a minute to figure out how to help best. Eventually, I grabbed her around the back legs with one arm and held her chin with the other, forcing her onto the teat. Those affirmative suckling sounds were a relief to Emily, who had begun worrying she wasn't getting colostrum in time, and again, the reading had made it sound like she'd be dead in 20 minutes without it. We made the decision to move them into the barn where we could control things a little bit easier. With the steers and bull on one side, the rest of the herd on the other, barbed wire and hay spears all around, it was just too stressful. That 71-pound calf was a load, though, I'm here to tell you. Baby took to nursing and Sunny was on her feet, but the next 48 hours was difficult. Sunny was engorged and in pain, and she wasn't acting herself. We definitely knew something was off. She was lethargic, she left pans of feed half eaten, and she had begun grinding her teeth. We discovered this was a sign of pain. As if all that wasn't enough, at some point while we weren't with her, she seems to have fallen again, leaving cuts on her shoulder, neck, and head. Emily was very concerned that she might be in early stages of milk fever and she wanted to administer a subcutaneous calcium supplement. She's never injected a needle into anything other than fabric, but she felt this had to be done. To be honest, I wasn't going to do it. So she stepped up and took care of business. I helped with what I could, but she deserves all the credit. In hindsight, we don't know if she had anything milk fever related or not, but all our knowledge indicated it was a definite possibility, and we were left to make the best decision we could. Even if it was unnecessary, our understanding was that it couldn't hurt, so we moved forward. We warmed the calcium and got about half a bottle in her. It accumulated under the skin a little, so we rubbed it in as best we could. It perked her up somewhat, and we were able to get her onto the trailer and headed to the vet. The vet really didn't find much wrong other than a rapid heartbeat and a temperature on the high end of normal. We asked them to draw blood and send it off so we could start ruling things out. She was given a vitamin B shot and an antibiotic. It's hard to know what to do in situations like this. We don't generally like to give an antibiotic if we don't have definite reason to do so, but she was clearly not well, and our gut said to do it, so we did. The first few days after birth were tumultuous to say the least. Seeing Sunny in pain was hard. Milking her was hard. Working through our lack of knowledge and knowing what to do was hard. Not really getting help from the vet, also hard. Emily reached out to a local group and asked if there was anyone with knowledge of Jerseys that could come look at her, and she got an immediate response. A super kind lady and her husband came by and reassured her that everything is looking good. Sometimes we just need someone who's been through it to tell us if everything is okay. After a really nice and helpful chat, Emily looked at her and said, "So she's good. She's not going to die?" Her response was basically perfect. She said, "Oh, she's a cow. She could definitely die. It happens. But you're doing everything right, and she looks great to me." The vet has since gotten back to us with results from the blood test. She had a high white blood cell count, indicating an infection of some kind. We still don't know what's going on, but it made us glad we did the antibiotic. At the same time, there's a withdrawal period, so we're not drinking the milk for a while, which is very disappointing. I didn't want to make this video. I put it off for many days as I contemplated what to say. Emily and I recorded a previous version, and I threw it out. Experienced cow people will probably say we made all kinds of mistakes, and they're probably right. We bought and read many books, paid for online courses, watched countless videos, and tried to learn all we could to prevent problems, but inevitably they come up. But ultimately, how do you learn these things except by doing them? So here we are. We have a beautiful, not so little, future milk cow that we hope to keep forever. We have a Jersey who has something going on that still isn't diagnosed and a lot of money spent. But this is the reality of raising your own animals and producing your own food. It's hard and it's expensive. But it's the life we live. It's the one we've chosen, and many others have chosen it too. Are we doing it right? I don't know. Back to me wanting to not make this video. I could have just posted some pretty pictures of a Jersey delivering a big healthy calf, shown the baby frolicking around the yard and everyone doing great. But who would that help? So judge all you want, I guess. But at the end of the day, we'll keep taking the best care of Sunny and Winnie that we can, and hopefully we'll figure it all out. We sure love this little calf and hope to have her for a very long time. Thanks so much for watching and for following along, and if you're still here at this point, you deserve a participation trophy. Hope you have a great day.